Yeah. We get lit, we get fly, we get drunk, we get high, but to the masses, we a podcast called Verified. I am your host. I am Joe Paul. Make sure you check us out at theverifiedpodcast.com. We are brought to you by Radio Pushers and Results in No Hype. And right now, we got a battle rap extraordinaire. We got somebody that's regarded as the top Latin battle rapper of all time. Forever. Forever, ever? Forever, ever?
Ever.
Yeah, forever. Has a very, very accomplished career. He's also one of the few battle rappers that actually makes good songs besides rapping. Talking about Mr. Murder Ave. I'm talking about the one and only Cortez Bodega. And you know what? I guess in pure battle rap sort of fashion, let me bring him in by saying, dude's a short threat. Legacy solidified. So on the Verified, me and Cortez, we gonna get solidified. Cortez, welcome to the Verified Podcast. Thank you for taking
I'm
your time.
catching
How you
up.
doing today?
Feeling blessed, King. You know what I'm saying? I'm winding right now, macking, about to roll up. We're gonna get into our bag. We're gonna talk our shit today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I do appreciate you taking your time. I know I said it before, because I know you're a very sought after individual, especially with all the hype behind the Resolutions album. And congratulations, because from what I
Thank you.
hear, it's amazing. And I did not actually get a chance to preview it because I wanted you to basically tell me what was the inspiration behind it, and we're going to get to all of that, throughout the course of this interview. So, but
Hmm.
being that we are still in a pandemic, how are you doing? Like
I'm doing
mentally,
good.
you, like your family, physically, spiritually. I know it's given us, a lot of time to kind of reevaluate things. So I just wanted to check on your mental stability, be a good human being, and say, how you doing, King?
Nah, man, I'm doing good. Like I say, 2020 was a very trying year. I guess that's what we would say, right? Like a very trying year, And to be honest with you, the space that I'm in right now is a result of me just realizing that I needed some time off. I needed to get things in order. And that's really like how the album came about. And it like motivated me to really like just revamp everything, focus
Mm.
on everything. And I feel like where I'm at right now is a result of that, you
That's
know?
what's up. That's what's up. I mean, listen, every once in a while, it's always good to like just sit back and reevaluate things, to digress and kind of clear your head from, all the nonsense and stuff like that, and be like, all right, let me evaluate what's most important to me. What's my goal? Where do I want to go? How do I get there? And who the fuck do I got to stomp over in order to, you know, achieve the final destination? So,
Big
so,
facts.
so I applaud your grind and your hustle, because it speaks for itself. So,
Thank you.
so let's jump right into it. So Cortez Bodega, talk to me
First
about
off, we're not holding no punches. Whatever you
none.
want to talk about, we're gonna talk about it.
Oh,
Let
absolutely.
everybody know, and there's nothing scripted here today. I want to have the most intriguing. Let's talk. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? This is
yo,
gonna
this
be a
is this is
conversation.
this is gonna be epic. This is gonna be verified in this motherfucker. I
Verify
mean,
exactly.
the cool thing is that it's like, there's a lot that I can relate to your story, and your come up, because I've been in the hip hop industry since around 1996. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I've been in a couple of battles on stages. Most of them didn't take place on stages. We'll go through it, as the interview, progresses.
You're
But
from that era.
oh yeah, hell yeah, I'm from that, boom bap rap fanatic era. So I
Mm-hmm.
have a certain love for music and hip hop, and especially battle rappers. And I don't mean to classify you as just a battle rapper, because you're
Mm-hmm.
you're much more than that. But your lyricism is so on point with any of the greats that are out there, that it's only a matter of time before people will be putting you in that top 10 list of best lyricists of all time. And
Thank you.
that's that's verified. I'm saying it on my podcast, so this way everyone can come back and cite this and be like, oh shit, Joe Paul called it. The whole world
That's
did,
fire.
but now they see it.
Mm-hmm.
So so pulling no
Y'all heard it
punches.
here.
Yeah, gonna dive deep into your story. The podcast is a little bit different than other podcasts where it just focuses on one thing. I like to do a nice deep dive into the rapper. Pause. So talk to me about young Cortez. Where'd you grow up? What'd your parents do? Like, talk to me about young man coming up.
Young Cortez grew up on Myrtle Ave, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
BedStuy
You know,
BK.
you know, during the real era, when shit wasn't sweet, very poverty. I grew up from the slums, and to be honest with you, my parents worked hard. My moms worked hard, my steppops worked hard. They delved into the street life as well, but at the same time, they wanted a better future for me and my little brother. And over time, my mother loved Spanish music. She loved all the salsa, merengue. So I would
Bachata.
hear that type of music. Yeah, I would hear all that music in the house. And then, my step pops was always into like classic music and stuff. So early on, I had an ear for music. Real early on, I understood certain genres and melodies and stuff. And then by the time I was like 8, 9 years old, and I got into hip hop, it just made all the sense in the world. I was like, oh, okay, and I added it into myself, and I became a huge hip hop head. I would write down lyrics and try to learn certain songs, and
Same
you
thing.
know,
On the on my Sony Walkman, on my boombox, I write down a sentence, press stop or pause, and then
and
so I
then
could
really
get the whole
figure
thing.
out what the line was and what they were saying. And then, as a kid, I might not get every reference, but now like I get it and I'll be like, oh, that's what he meant with this.
I
So
love
it's
that.
cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I love that about hip hop. The maturity level. It's like, we're singing these, lyrics from, back in the day, not really knowing exactly what they were saying until we get
What we're
older.
talking about.
Right. And they're like, oh shit, that's what he
That's
said.
what
Like, yeah, when I figured out that, protons, electrons always cause explosions was an acronym
mm-hmm,
for peace, for PEASE, protons,
mm-hmm.
electrons always cause. I was just like, holy shit. I was like, or when Jay-Z was like, like short sleeves are bare arms. I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
holy
Now, like
shit.
when Hove said $150 a shot, Louis the 13. I remember I always knew that line. I never really knew what it meant. And then when I got old enough to drink and I went to the bar one day and I got a little bit of chicken in my pocket and I'm like, yo, what's that? What's that bottle? And they're like, oh, that's Louis the 13.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh
2000.
yeah, all right, yeah, all right, yeah. Let me get that. They're like, no, that bottle's this. I said, how much is the shot? And the guy was like 150. And I was like, bing. I said, oh, okay. It
I
makes
love
sense.
how I love how hip hop, connects like that. And we're from an era. I mean, I'm not sure how old you are. I mean, I think you're, a lot younger than
30s.
me. Oh yeah, a lot younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
come from an era where bars really mattered. That like
Yeah.
it was not about the gimmicks. It was not about the theatrics. It was about your vocabulary, your wordplay, your ability to crank out even a decent song, but still keep it relevant, with the times, which, we've
Mm-hmm.
seen that a lot of rappers got some insane bars, but can't make a fucking song to save their life. So,
There's a
and
difference between rapping and creating.
oh,
I tell people that all the time. There's a real difference between rapping and creating like a legendary joint or like connecting with the people. Anybody can rap. I feel like rapping is the first stage. I feel like you have to know how to rap first. Then after you learn how to rap, then you'll learn how to make music. Then you'll
exactly.
learn how to really create, and I think that's where a lot of people like tail off. They might not be so dedicated where they're gonna learn those extra things in order to take them to the next level. That's what separates the real artists from the ones that just used to rap. Yo, yeah, I used to rap back in the day, bro, in school, but they ain't really going nowhere. To the people that really worked on their craft and understood there was different levels.
Absolutely. I can't stand the people that just come into it and like think that they're just gonna be able to record a song, put it on SoundCloud, and they're gonna blow up. Like there's so much work and grind and branding and marketing and money and getting robbed and fucked over that you got to go through
You
before you
have
even,
to go through that.
yeah, before you
You don't
it's
go
a
through
right,
that, it's over.
yeah, it's a rite of passage right there. That's why a lot of these artists that I do some consulting for, um,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I've been in the music game since like 1996. So as I'm giving people like the advice, I see that they're like, oh shit, it takes that long. And why do I have to spend that much money? I was like, because everybody else is spending that much more than you. Everybody else
Mm-hmm.
has been there a little bit longer than you. I mean, I never realized when my parents told me there's always going to be somebody stronger, faster, smarter. and with more money that is competing for your spot. So how are you
Mhm.
going to stand out? So when you first got into hip hop, who were like the people that you were listening to? What was it? What was in
Wu-Tang,
your Sony Walkman?
Wu-Tang,
Staten
Big,
Island. Sue.
Wu-Tang, Big, and the Death Row era. You know what I mean? I was 8, 9 years old. Like I said, my first record I heard was METHOD, man.
That's funny. The first Wu-Tang record I ever heard was METHOD, man. I was at a school dance. It was the night of 100 pizzas. It was 1992, and I remember it was a predominantly like Italian junior high school, but I was friends with like the only two like Puerto Rican and black kids. And I
What high
remember,
school you went to?
well, I went to Wagner High School, the home of the
Mm-hmm.
race riots back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But in
In
junior high,
Staten?
yeah, in Staten.
That's crazy. Okay.
Wow,
So you
Wagner.
was out there during the whole Wu pandemic. You was in Staten. Man, that's crazy.
But listen, I was infected and afflicted by
Mm-hmm.
the Wu-Tang pandemic. When I heard that there were artists that were on Staten Island, that it literally, they kind of put Staten Island on the map. It gave almost every person that ever wanted to do music in Staten Island kind of the validation. Okay, if people can make it from Staten Island, maybe I have a chance. They're so instrumental to the hip hop culture in Staten Island that it's like they
Even
don't
to this
get,
day.
to this day, they
Even to
don't
this
get
day.
enough love. Which, like, and I'll give you a prime example. There's a couple of young chicks that I fuck with because, I mean, even though like, I'm 40, I like young girls, not like, like SVU, like, not like that, but, and I try to educate them on the music and I'll be playing the shit in my car and I'm like, yo, you like Wu-Tang? They're like, what's that? And I'm like,
Are you crazy?
yeah, I almost wish I had an eject button in my car sometimes. Like,
boom,
yeah,
inject them right out.
yeah, it's like we ain't even on the same level. If you don't know who Wu-Tang is, how could I fucking put my penis inside of you and feel good about it? Can't do it. So, so you grew up listening to Wu-Tang, Death Row, Biggie. So,
Big.
so talk me through like, your evolution of hip hop, and how you came to even want to put your own words on the
When I
paper.
was when I
Or did
went,
that not come till like much later?
nah, it was like it was gradual. But what I would do is memorize the songs. I would always play the music on my radio and have my tape deck and record all the new songs, and I play my video games, play my lives or whatever. And I would always play my video games on mute. And I would listen to the music and get all the new songs. Then I would just memorize them, right? So I understood like how to flow, cadence, and all that, just memorizing rap songs. Then I remember Thug Mansion came out by Pac, and I wrote it down word for word, like to get the lyrics. Shit took me hours to do. I kept bringing the tape, bringing it back, right? So from there,
I did that with Pac's song. Gotta be careful, can let the evil of the money trap me. So when you see me, better holler at me. I wrote down every word because his delivery in that song like is redonkulous.
exactly.
And I attribute and I bring up Tupac even though you just mentioned him because he constantly evolved with his style, and I see that not one of your songs or battles is ever alike. Like it's and I mean literally the one word that could describe you is consistent. Everything
That's
that you do, and I'm not trying to blow smoke. Yeah, it's just because you're on my podcast, I'm trying to gain favor and be like, yo, let me get a feature. You know what I'm saying?
that's really the goal. No, but that's crazy because that's really the goal. Like my thing is always about being consistent. Like when you think of Cortez, that's what you're gonna say over a long length of time. Yo, he's just consistent. He's always there. Might not be the hottest nigga. He's not gonna be the lowest nigga. He's always gonna be there though. And I feel like that prolongs the checks, that prolongs your relationships, and makes people understand that they gotta fuck with you.
That's a fact, and you said it best. That it makes them want to fuck with you. It's like nobody could deny your skill for your wordplay. And then when you put into the fact that like every song is an evolution of another, and nothing sounds the same, it's like, okay, Cortez is definitely not no one trick pony. So, so he's a force to be reckoned with. So,
Man.
all right. So you started, so you
Yeah,
started
so
writing
I
down.
would write the lyrics, right? I would write the lyrics, and then like when I go to the hood and we chilling on the corner, I would crack my little jokes or my little personalities and switch the lines around. And I'll be saying little clever shit, and niggas would be like, "Yo, that's fire. Yo, cool. That's dope." You know what I mean? So I would do that with my cousins, and then my cousin Canton had got a karaoke machine for Christmas. We
Oh, it
don't
was
know
all,
why, right?
all from there.
And he lived downstairs from me. So me, him, and my cousin Rilla would go downstairs, and we would just be freestyling and fucking with it. That was the best gift. I don't know who got him that, but whoever got him the karaoke machine, that like changed everything for the hood. Like that was it. Once we got the karaoke machine, we just started fucking around making little tapes, and we would have little like wars with niggas in the, like certain niggas from certain blocks. Like, oh yeah, y'all niggas not for this side, y'all the other side, y'all the side blocks. And we would just have fun in the hood like that. And then I just started taking it a lot more serious because people would be like, "Yo, Cole, you be saying some shit. Like you should fuck with it, you know." So I'm like, "All right, cool." And then I would do it. And then when I started high school, I think in my second or third year in, one of my best friends, Shay, he, I didn't know he made music. So we would go to the lunch tables. Niggas was rapping one day, and I smoked niggas at the lunch table. And then he was just like, "Yo, cool, I didn't know you rap." I'm like, "Yeah, I rap and shit like that. I don't really let people know." And he was just like, "Yo, I produce. I've been producing since I was like in 7th grade. So we're in 10th grade, 11th grade, and he's already producing beats." I'm like, "Word?" He's like, "Yo, come to my crib." We
So
started cutting glass.
what year is this? Just for context, so people know. Is that around like
Nine,
2000?
nine, nah, maybe like 98, 99.
Okay.
98, maybe 99, 99. So
Okay.
like
So right on the tail end of like the golden era of hip hop, as
but
the
I knew everything already. I knew Clue tapes, I knew Jay-Z's albums. I already was very hip to music. So I just knew I had to do it in my own way. The thing that worked with me is I didn't know how to count bars or anything. Right? I would just have sheets of rhymes and patterns. So when my boy Shay would bring me to his crib, we would cut class. He would create a beat, and then he'd be like, "All right, we need a hook." And I used to be like, "What do you mean? Like, I don't get it." He'd be like, "Yo, these are hooks. All right, how do you count the bars? This is how you count the bars. Do, boom. This is the pattern. This is this." He really taught me structure. This is my best friend to this day. You
That's
understand?
what's up.
He really sat there and taught me structure. And then it was like, okay, so the first time I was in the studio, or a makeshift studio recording his crib, we was already doing 16s and hooks. I didn't start off doing freestyles. I didn't start off in ciphers. I started off 16s and hooks. So I would understand concepts, melodies after that, and then we started incorporating it. 2000, we wasn't great, we wasn't great, but maybe by like
But we thought
around,
we thought we was the shit though.
I let the whole hood hear that shit.
Yeah.
You crazy?
Yeah,
And
my
niggas
shit
was just
don't
like, "All right,"
stink.
but it will also help me like work on my craft, and I would say we were constantly in the studio, or any chance I got, anybody that had a studio anywhere it was, like, we pull up. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it was he lived all the way in Far Rockaway. I lived in Brooklyn. And I would
Okay.
take the G train to the
Shout
A
out to
train,
MC Search.
all the way to the
Rockaway.
A Rockaway, to the Rockaway A train, all the way to his crib. Be there all night, leave his crib like 12, 1 in the morning. Take that train ride back. And
That's a
I'll be
grind.
listening to it, and I'll be listening to it on my Discman. You know what I'm saying? I'll be listening to shit and be like, "All right, cool." Like, all right, boom. And then fix my records and get better and better. I would say not until maybe 2005, 2006, where I really got like comfortable, where I was like, "Yo, all right, like I got some decent shit." And then by then it was kind of known in the hood. I rapped, and my cousins rapped too. And I was just trying to motivate everybody. And then from there we started putting out little mixtapes, Murder Ad mixtapes, Murder Ad mixtape, Volume 1, Murder Ad mixtape, Process Elimination, Prop Volume 2. And niggas would just fuck with shit, We do that, we get the hood lit, and then we started doing shows. We started going to the Pyramid. Anybody that knows the Pyramid, Training Camp, EO Dub, that was it. And once I started doing those showcases and stuff, and then people started recognizing me and my man Billy and Misfit, we used to sneak Misfit in, and she be 13, 14 years old, coming in the spots with us, rapping on stage.
Misfit's a battle rapper, right? With
Yeah.
shout out
That's
to
my
Bad with Queen of the Ring. She sends her
yeah.
regards.
Yeah, so like like she's part of the camp. So like she was on early. Her brother grew up with us, so we would sneak her in and stuff, and it just be lit. And from there, it just kept growing, kept growing. But the goal was always music. It was never battle rap. It
Mhm.
was always music. And if you know from that era, like you said, you had a couple battles. You didn't have a couple battles because you want to be a battle rapper. You had a couple battles because you was looking for a deal. We was all looking for exposure.
To tell you the truth, so I mean, so the battles that I did that were like there was only like literally three of them that were on stage. Though, and those were really for one favors to people, and then my first battle on stage was basically to prove to like my manager or my old manager or the other people that were with him at the time that I was as ferocious, as I claimed to be,
Yeah.
and and that was also the time that I realized that the battle rap game was really, really fucked up because the champion from the previous year threw the battle. So it was his people's. And the beat that they gave me was literally like the beat that Redman and Method Man put on for Ludacris in that like punk
Oh yeah. When they got him with the
yeah, it was like I am a hell of a guy doing my rhyme. It was the worst. It was the worst thing in the world. I said,
you
"Yo,
got
shut
lined right up. They lined you right up.
yeah, oh, exactly. And I know, and I'm a street kid, so I know what a setup is. And I'm literally looking at this kid, and I'm like, do I punch him right now, or do I try to do this? I was like, all right. I was like, let me just kick whatever I can, whatever it is, it is. The irony is, the girl who won the slam poetry contest of this event pointed to me and was like, he should win. His lyrics were better than everyone's. Fuck that beat. But from that point, I realized that the game's a bunch of snakes, because
Yeah.
when there's money involved, it's like anything is possible, and especially if they're throwing the party. So what was it like when you first actually stepped on stage, and really talk me through it? Get descriptive with it. Oh, take another couple of hits real fast.
Professional or like even on stage before the camera era? Because like there's things that's happened. Like there was this little club in the hood called Overtime, right? And we was all like 18, 19, me and all my niggas and a couple of older niggas. They was like, yo, we going in here for a few drinks. So we all couldn't get in, but them niggas, that shit was in the hood. So they was like, yo, we know these niggas will fuck our shit up if we don't let them in. They're like, all right. So they let all of us in. We came in there like 10 deep. But all of us are kind of underage, except like 4 of the OG niggas. So niggas is like, yo, let's just chill. So they had a performance that night. Now, what it was it was actually like an event for a magazine that they were creating. That magazine was called Freeze Mag or some shit like that. But it was actually started by Paul Rosenberg when the whole shady thing. And they only put out like 2 articles, but their first one was 50 Cent as he was signing to G Unit. So we didn't know what it was, but we just seen this dude rapping on stage, right? And niggas ant me. They're like, yo, Cole, this nigga not hard, Cole. Yo, Cole, give you $1 right now, man. They go on stage, take the mic, and body son. I'm like, yo, y'all niggas is bugging. I'm not gonna interrupt Son's show. They like, yo, Cole, fuck that. It's all hood, nigga. Like, we got you, nigga. What's up? What you want to do?
Don't you love peer pressure? Like, I'm afraid they gonna do some fucked up shit.
Yo, I sit back at it there, but then again, I also get it now. Niggas like, yo, son, we not asking for no favors, nigga. We don't need handouts. We need niggas to respect our shit.
Yeah,
now you kind of understand
that belly bully shit. You're either gonna get down or lay down.
So Son jumps off stage and he gets in the crowd and like kind of like raps to us anyway. So I'm like, yo, fuck that. Son put the mic down and he was saying something. I took the mic and I just started coming at Son. I had this verse in my head. Yo, the whole club went crazy. Everybody went crazy. Oh, yo, Son is like, oh, my niggas, yeah, Son called that. So Son tried to come back. His shit wasn't hitting. Yeah. Niggas dubbed him. So niggas is like, yo, that's fire.
This is before the video cell phone era. Fuck.
This is 03, 02 when the 50 signed a G Unit, like 03 going into 04 type shit. Yeah, like that. So
06 is when like text messaging started coming in.
Exactly.
It was still old school Motorola flip phones.
Exactly. So
fuck.
I get back off, and this dude comes up to me. He's like, "Yo, what's your name?" Da da da. He's like, "Yo, um, I'm the editor of this magazine. I want you to come to the office on Monday." Niggas. So when we leave, niggas is like, "We told you, nigga. That's how you do it. You see what I'm saying?" And I'm like, "Damn, that shit worked out. Like that shit really worked out." Went to the meeting. Right, dude was mad cool. He wanted to hear some music. He heard some of the music. Music wasn't that great, but he knew I could rap. And like I told him, I said, "Yo, we starting off like, but niggas is hungry." He's like, he's like, "Yo, I got an event tonight at Speed. I can get you in. I can't get all your other niggas in, but I could get you in. Come, I'll take care of you because you underage still. You feel me?" And he's like, I'm gonna get you around some people. I'm gonna introduce you to some producers, and let's see if maybe we get you in the studio. So I'm like, all right, cool. So boom, I go get to Speed, nigga. I'll go in. Rest in peace. Guru's in there.
Oh shit! Rest in peace.
Right.
Yeah.
So they put me all the way upstairs, like on the rooftop, like VIP area, and he's the only one allowed there. So I'm sitting there, and he's smoking, and he's like, "Shorty, who you?" Like, you know what I mean? He's like, "Yo, what is this kid doing in my set?" You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, "Yo,
I'm just chilling.
I'm chilling." You know what I mean? Yeah, he told me such. He said, "Oh, so you." Yeah, so he's like, "Oh, you know what I mean? You I forget the dude's name, but he's like, "Oh, you with him?" He's like, "All right, cool." He's like, "Yo, you smoke?" I'm like, "Yeah, I smoke." He like, "All right." To be honest with you, I didn't even smoke at the time. So I was just like, yeah, whatever. So he was like,
yeah, you can smoke that shit. Fuck
yeah.
it.
So the nigga, boom, passed me the L. I started smoking with him. So my first blunt ever was with a legend. Hold ever.
I gotta switch from a joint to a blunt because that was too epic. Hold on.
Yeah.
My man said the first blunt he ever smoked was with Gangstar. Rest in peace. Holy shit.
Crazy. So after that, we end up going to another after hour spot.
I was just saying, we
end the interview right
now. Like, I mean, we're done. We're done. Like, this was,
you know. So we go to an after hour spot, and I'm tired, nigga. I'm still a kid, bro. I'm like 15. Like, I'm like, yo. They all partying out there. He's like, "Yo, you good?" I'm like, "Yo," like, you know, he could tell I'm tired. He's like, "Yeah, this kid is tired." He's like, "Yo, how you getting home?" I'm gonna take the train, like whatever. I'm a kid. He's like, "Nah." He calls his service or whatever. Boom. He's like, "Yo, shorty, boom, go ahead, go get in." Boom. They made sure I was good. Put me in a cab, put me home. You know what I'm saying? But I got my ass whooped that night. My mother ain't know where the fuck I was at. My mother was like, "Nigga, where the fuck you was at?" I got my ass whooped. But that shit was worth it. That shit was worth it. And and it's crazy because she still remembers that to this day. She'd be like, you know, she didn't understand me rapping and all that. She was like, "Yo, nah, like that shit's not gonna pay the bills." Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy from her seeing that and then seeing the determination over the time. And she fully supports me now, like on everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how the tables turn. But at that time, she wasn't jacking that. She's like, "Nah, nigga, 15 years old. You got school tomorrow. Who the fuck brung you to a club?" You know what I'm saying? Like type shit. You was drinking, you was smoking. You know what I mean? Like she didn't understand it. But you know, from there, just little opportunities will open up. And I would start doing the showcases. But that was the first time I was on stage. Now, as far as on stage performing, I would go to the Pyramid. And when I would start going to the Pyramid, I learned from Mental Supreme, Training Camp, EOW. I learned cadence, how to rap on the mic. After maybe like 1 or 2 times, I was over it. I was more hyped to get on stage. And then the rest of the team too. So that's why a lot of us in the gang, from Billy to Misfit, everybody's really good technically. Like we really learned how to hold the mic, how to rap in the crowd. Yeah. Like we understood that. So like being on stage wasn't nerve-wracking. And I think that's what helped me early on when the battles popped, because those shits happened in the spur of the moment, and I knew how to work a crowd. You know what I'm saying? I know how to get people to laugh, or what would make people, you know, respond. And so once the real battles started happening, a lot of the other battlers were just getting their feet wet, and I was already like, I've already done this in front of a couple hundred people.
You've already been on stage. You're already comfortable. You already come from BedStuy. You know how to move within the jungle. You know, and you know how to operate. You know, your wordplay is
Big
on
facts.
point. You know what I'm saying? You know how to basically kill them like a ninja, death by 1,000 cuts. So
Only thing I would learn after that is really like I would get to watch what I do wrong. I actually would get to study my tapes now because things were going into the whole internet era. You know, a
right,
lot of those times that shit is just memory. Oh yeah, I did this that time. No footage, no nothing. If you was there, you know. If you wasn't, you don't know. You
right.
know.
It's like that expression that's going on now. If you know, you know.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
when I first started performing, you know, like I was always wanting to be like the center of attention, you know, and like performing like the school plays and shit like that. And I was a break dancer, so I always wanted to be, you know, in the center of the circle, you know, of the linoleum or cardboard or whatever we were using back then. So, but the ironic thing about performing is that um, the basically my third performance ever was at the Apollo Theater.
That's crazy.
So as a white Jewish kid from Staten Island, you know what I'm saying, that like looks like, you know, like one of the NSYNC boys back in those days. 'Cause I had hair, you know what I'm saying? I was all diesel. I look fucking flying fucking cute as fuck. I don't know what the fuck happened. But I'm trying to get that shit back. So yeah, but I remember performing at the Apollo, and that was kind of like the validation that my parents saw, you know, and that's the only reason why I bring that up. It's like, oh shit. It's like the Apollo Theater. I don't know if any other white Jewish rappers have been there. Maybe the Beastie Boys, you know, or MC Search,
Mhm.
but you know, and I killed it. I fucking killed it. Jay-Z was
Yeah.
there. You know, I won the Teen People magazine What's Next award. So they
Okay.
like set me to be like the next, you know, big thing. And the award show was at the Apollo. So I got to perform with all like the celebrities, like Nelly performed there. Um, the the NSYNC boys performed there. Yeah, it was crazy. It was one of the best times of my life. So, you know, but the even better was the validation from my father that now it's like, okay, this is a reason, you know, I'm not going to be so mad at you if you drop out of college, you know, 14 credits before your psychology degree. You know,
Yeah.
I see it's worth it, you know, that, you know, you're doing something and,
What
you know,
people don't realize is that when the iron's hot, you have to strike when the iron's hot. You can't waste the time. And that's even when you are hot, you still, even when you're hot, you still have to like handle it to the point where it's like, okay, I gotta open all these doors. Like if I'm into an artist, all right, I need to figure out how to make money with my clothes. I need to make acting. You need to tap into all that while you're hot. You can't do that when you tail off because then those opportunities don't open up the same way. So you're in school, you're almost done, but you're like, yo, I kind of got some right now. Got to
yeah,
put that on pause to really see. Because as an artist, it will always be in the back of your head. What if? What if? And that's what drives people crazy. Because
nuts.
the people that don't jump out the window and try to see, at least if I jump out the window and I fail, I'll be like, yo, I really gave that shit a good shot. I almost had it. I
Exactly.
could go back
Yeah.
to the 9 to 5.
Yeah,
But if you've
or let
never
me get back up
took
there.
that
Let me jump and
opportunity,
let me try flapping my wings a little bit higher. Listen, you miss 1,000% of the shots that you never take. So, I mean, we really are only here. I mean, I say this at the end of my podcast, but you know, we're not by the end yet. But I say
uh-huh,
we are all just here for a small cup of coffee. I'm trying to
mm-hmm,
drink it while that shit's still hot.
that's hard. That's
So,
hard.
you gotta jump on it while it's actually there. So I respect that completely. So you're killing these stages. You're getting your buzz out there. Now, is this transitioning from MySpace to like Facebook and Twitter yet, or is it still in the MySpace like Napster, Kaza, giving your computer AIDS era?
What happened to me was from doing the shows at the Pyramid, I was on this DVD called What's Really Hood. And when I did the What's Really Hood DVD, there was a big cipher.
They bootleg the shit out of that out in Staten Island. So
Yo,
we had that shit
they
immediately.
would have the truck. They would have the truck. He would pull up to showcases. So there was one where there's a DVD and it's me, Fred the God,
Rest in peace.
rest in peace, Fred, Math. It's a couple of rappers that are all just ciphering outside the Pyramid. Like niggas, and they use that at the beginning to open up the DVD. And I'm in there and I'm spitting. So while I was in that cipher, this dude pulled me to the side and he was like, yo, you ever battle rap before? And I'm like, nah, like, you know, I be doing music and shit like that. I battle on the blockade. And he's like, yo, you got a crazy flow. Like, I kind of see that with you. I'm like, all right, that's what's up. He's like, yo, you ever heard of Fight Club? And I'm like, yeah. they just got a season out on MTV too. And he's like, yeah, well, we filming season 2. I think you'd be good for that. So I'm like, so what's up? He's like, yo, come down on Friday. Friday is the tryouts.
So it's
Like,
all his fault. So
yeah,
basically, so every single battle rap that you've been into that basically have annihilated your opponent has that
it's his
guy.
fault.
It's
Yeah,
his fault. His
exactly.
fault. Not
You know.
listen. Don't shoot the messenger. It was his fault.
Mm-hmm.
I
So,
remember.
but he tells me, he's like, yo, be ready. Niggas gonna come for your head. Be ready. Have balls on deck. Like, for real. I'm like, all right. You know, and back then we would just have verses memorized. And I had like a solid 15 verses that I knew. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right,
I remember those days.
whatever.
I can remember shit.
Exactly. So I tell him, I'm like, it's all good. Don't worry, right? So he's like, all right, cool. So I get there. I battle like 5 dudes. I smoke them all. He's like, yo, there's one more dude left. He's flying. He flew in from Cali, so he was late. So it ended up being Jag. Jag that was down with Larceny Family and all them. He's from Cali. Watts or whatever. So I battled Jag. It was a fire battle. You know, they called it a draw. It was, you know, we went the distance 5 rounds. Like, all right, cool. It's lit. I come back the next week with all new verses. Smoke niggas. Come back the week after that. Smoke niggas. So now they looking and they're like, oh shit, like this nigga smoking shit. Right before we go to film season 2 is when they had a big fire that they lost all their footage or whatever at the Fight Club. So they lost everything.
Listen, that sounded like the fire that you spit burnt down Happy Land.
So like that's a ball, you know. But from there, it just dwindled. So like I was like, but everyone in the hood knew that I got busy at Fight Club. And everybody, that spread mad fast that I was gonna be on season 2. So like niggas just waiting for season 2, and then I'm like, yo, that shit never even dropped, nothing. But I had a name. Now, rest in peace, my homegirl AD the General. She used to do showcases too.
AD, rest in peace. Such
You
a
do AD?
yeah. That was my homegirl. You know, I did her show a bunch of times. I supported her. Like, and it was fucked up. Her page got hacked like a couple of weeks ago, and they were like putting like credit card ads on this. I mean, DJ Unique were like commenting like, "You piece of shit! When we find you in the Philippines, we're gonna fucking kill you." I'm gonna wait till it's over though before it happens. But yeah, rest in peace to AD, man. I missed the shit out of her. Rest in peace to AD the General, Fred the Godson, Hollywood Play. It's fucking nuts out here, man. And rest in peace to Meg too. I mean, I know like your brother. So rest in peace. And I know we'll talk about that in a little bit because just want to check on how you're doing mentally because that's a hard thing to crack. But let's get back to your story real fast, and then we'll get to that.
Yeah. So AD calls me one day. And she called me out the blue, and I bodied her shits all the time. And, she really looked out for the Spanish artists. Like, she really felt like her own. And me and her was mad tight. We even had a brawl one time, and we held down her brother in the event. Like, niggas tried to pop. We all went to war. So, like, we was mad tight. She fucked with Murder Ave in general. So she calls me one day. I'm getting ready to go to work. It's a Saturday. She's like, yo, Cole, I just left Fat Beats. I didn't know what Fat Beats was. She was like, and I shot you up for this battle tomorrow at 3:00. So you got to be there. I'm like, yo, AD, I work tomorrow. Like, how you gonna tell me this now? What did you sign me up for? I don't know what you talk about battles. She's like, look, nigga,
I think she did the same thing
at Fight
Club. My interview. She was like, yeah, I got your interview set up for 4:00. I was like, when? Today. I was like, it's fucking noon. Like. Yeah.
And she's like, look, man, you hold it down. You one of the nicest Boricuas I know. I'm trying to get you in that light. Yo, bro, fuck that shit. Go do that battle, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like this. I'm like, yo, AD, man. All right, I'll see what's up. So I go through my bars while I'm at work that day, and I got my shit, but I still was gonna go to work. So I went to work. I got to work. It's 12:00. Like 2:00 comes, and I'm just sitting here and I'm itching at work, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, let me go. Clock out of work. Boom, I go. Right? I get over there. I battle 10 niggas. I smoke all of them.
Digstown.
G Unit. Now this battle is DJ Vlad Butcher battle. Vlad was giving away $1,000 in Machiavelli clothing. Why the fuck were we battling for Machiavelli clothing? But that was his sponsor. You know what I'm saying? So he had a DJ, he had a G Unit DJ there. He had some other industry nigga and some other A&R there as the judges, and it was a nice little packed spot in what's the name of the record store?
Fat Beats.
Fat Beats. So
Now,
I'm like, all right.
Was it DJ Who Kid or DJ Chubby Chub?
Nah, but either one. It wasn't them. I know Chubb, I know Who Kid, but it was just another DJ from like Arizona, like one of them niggas. So, but he was an official G Unit DJ. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. So we there. I didn't know who Vlad was. Vlad hosts it. Boom. We battle. I battle all 10 dudes. I smoke them. I lose the last championship round because I just ran out of verses. Like I was better than the dude, but I just ran out of verses. He could freestyle. My freestyle wasn't that good. But it was clear cut who was the best dude in there. Me. Right? All right, cool. This dude in the crowd, though, had a flip phone with a camera. And he filmed the one battle he filmed was me versus Jay Focus. And that battle, I smoked this kid. Like that battle was fire. I smoked Annihilation. Yeah, right? So, cool. He films it on the phone. We getting into the phone camera era. He films it.
Mad pixelated.
Puts it online. I'm gonna send you it. I'm gonna send you the link. It's on YouTube. Right? He puts it online. And it's just on YouTube. I don't know nothing about YouTube. I'm on MySpace. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm starting to get a lot of traction on MySpace, like from showcases, little battles here and there. I was kind of gaining a little like hood following, like niggas was fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? I was shaking hands and kissing babies.
Yeah, MySpace was the shit because it was like you were actually able to like it went from the era of like you kind of like only meet your fans at the shows to now you can grow fans and actually talk to them and
bring them to the shows.
And bring them to the shows and fuck them if you're in their cities. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I mean, I was the number one unsigned artist in New York for I think it was like 9 months on MySpace. I'll always repeat that title. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you.
So a year goes by. This battle, whole year goes by. I'm watching 106 in Park. I'm in there watching it with my niggas. And next thing you know, Jay Focus is the 106 in Park champion. And I'm sitting there like, I killed this nigga. Like, I'm like, yo, I killed him. He's one of the dudes I killed last year at that Fat B shit. I call AD. I'm like, yo, AD, you see what the champion? Yo, that's one of the niggas I smoke. She's like, word, that's crazy. Leave it alone.
Oh, shit. I would have been like, yo, fellas, we are going to 106 in Park tomorrow.
So look. The thing is, people, when you went 106 in Park, that was a big deal. People were Googling him. And when they Google him, what will pop up? The battle against me for Vlad. So people was like, yo, he's the champ.
I feel like
who that Puerto Rican nigga?
I feel like that deserves like a Hulk Hogan moment when he's just like, because that's a win right there. It's like now everyone's gonna see that I smoked this dude. Like,
yeah, and I don't even know about it. Everyone's sitting there, and then the thing is, it's getting me because they like, yeah, he the 106 in Park champ, but who that Spanish kid that smoked this nigga?
Cortez.
You feel me? Exactly. So or whatever. So it got me like a little clout. Then I noticed it was on YouTube and I put it on my channel too. And I'm like, oh shit, all right, bet. You know, this fire. I got the footage. All right. Next thing you know, Grind Time is trying to start up through World Star Hip Hop. You know, World Star, and started with battles. So Grind Time is trying to do that. Now this dude, he goes to 106 in Park. His name is Direct. He started Grind Time. He went to 106 to meet Jay Focus and get him down with Grind Time. On top of meeting him, he asks him, "Hey, you battled this kid named Cortez. By any chance you got his number or anything like that?" And he had my number from that day. And he just gave it to me. He didn't hate. He didn't do nothing. Like, he gave him my number.
That's respect. You know why? Because that's respect. Because he probably realized how bad you probably smoked him, and he's like, if I can't beat him, join him.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he did that, and then the rec would just keep calling me, and I didn't know who this Orlando number was. I kept dubbing it, and then one day I picked it up, like, "Yo, hello, who is?" And then he tells me, he's like, "Yo, man, I think you're dope. Da da da. I want you to be in Grind Time." And then, from there I battled on Grind Time, and then once them shit start hitting World Star, boop, then I did the Lions. Then the next thing you know, boom, URL starts, and it just goes from there. But it was all like that, and it wasn't planned. Like, it wasn't even thought of that being a game plan.
I mean, that's why it's so perfect that you're on my podcast, because the organic value of what you bring and the authenticity to what you bring to the game of music as a whole is perfect for this platform, because not everyone can do it like that. Like, not everyone can rhyme and get a deal. Not everyone can shine and make a mill. So Johnny carry 9 in the steel. I'm sorry, I had to go on my Method Man, shit real quick. But it's like the fact that you were able to jump from different league to different league and basically kind of earn titles kind of everywhere. I know that you only revere the battle with A Verb as one that you really, truly, kind of regret, that you might have lost on that one. But
yeah, I feel like that battle was a learning lesson, but it's okay. Like, it made me go ham for like 4 years straight, though. You know what I mean? Like, it really made me like with a chip on my shoulder. So sometimes you just got to take those L's and turn them into those dubs. Like, I feel like that shit made me feel away, because I had never felt like anyone was better than me. I could understand if you had a better game plan, or if you prepared more than me. If I was busy and I didn't prepare, and I could be content with you beating me, because I know that you beat me that day. You're not gonna beat me all the time. But that day, I felt like he just flat out was up beyond me, and like that, I can't.
When he went against Clubber Lang, you defeated.
Exactly, and that I can't deal with. I was like, nah, like, I gotta get to a certain level,
Hey, listen, whatever it takes to light that fire. I mean, I say this on all my podcasts that I'm sure you don't regret that, because to ever regret a decision made in the past is to never fully appreciate who you are in this present time right now. So it's like, where you might have lost that, in the grand scheme of things, you won because it taught you such a valuable lesson. One question I have about battle rap. When did it transition, to the best of your knowledge anyway, I'm genuinely asking, because I don't even know. When did it switch from freestyle off the top of your head in the battle to now it's a written format sort of thing?
I think Grind Time. I think Grind Time set that, which is 08, 09, because they were setting matches like it was like leagues, like a league with matches and divisions. And, hey, cool, we want you to battle this guy, and you know what I mean? Like, this is gonna be 3 weeks from now. You got 3 weeks, 1 minute to that. Like, it was like a structure. And I think that really made it like, okay, hold on.
Grind Time is credited with kind of.
I would say because I feel like the leagues before it. Yeah, I feel like the leagues before it, right? The leagues before it, they like Fight Club or even WRCs. Yeah, they had battles, but a lot of the people still were freestyling. They weren't really going there writing. They were going there freestyling anyway. But I feel like Grind Time allowed people
to write about their opponents,
to write them and curated through their past battles, because then you would be like, oh yeah, in your last battle you said this, and like it set the formula up, and like everyone understood that he's gonna come with a written, so I'm gonna come with a written. Some of those other leagues, they had it like that, or some dudes would be like that, but some people would still just come in and freestyle too. It was like, nah, this is set where you're gonna write, he's gonna write, or I'm gonna write, and who's gonna have the best written material. You know what I mean? That is a whole different
ball, different
sandwich.
ball. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'll tell you one time that being able to freestyle rap saved my life. I was so I used to be in a rap group back in the day called SMG, Sex, Money, and Guns, with a couple of
Uh-huh.
rappers, Smooth the Hustler, Trigger the Gambler, Ice-T. So I say it on all my podcasts. That's why I'm like rushing past it. But the
Uh-huh.
story is that, so I was going to see my boy Trigger. Elevator was broke. Stanley Avenue, East New York. Go to his building, walk up the stairs. There's three dudes, sitting there. They literally do like a movie scene where they put their foot out, like for me to not walk by.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not sure if I told this story on here or not. Anyway, so they were like, "Where you going, white boy?" And now they're either thinking I'm a cop or I'm a junkie and I'm looking for to score something. But I'm pretty
Uh-huh.
thugged out. Back in the day, I had my do rag on, my hat to the side. I didn't look like one of those like Italian like
Yeah,
narco.
you didn't stand there like, nah, he out here.
But pretty much, especially I'm by myself. And
Uh-huh.
like Trigger's like one of my closest friends, so it's like, all I have to do is say his name and then I'm good.
And you respecting it, yeah.
But for some reason or another, they decided to test me, and
Uh-huh.
they're like, what are you here to do? And I'm going to see Trigger. I was like, it's my boy, and they were like, oh, why, you rap? And I was like, yeah, matter of fact, I do. And they were like, hey, yo, kick me something, white boy. I was like, yo, it was like 8 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I didn't even get to smoke my first blunt yet, so
Uh-huh.
I was like, chill. I was like. I was like, no, thank you. And they're like, oh, this kid ain't got balls, whatever. And then I heard one of them say, yo, but what has he got in his pockets? So then I basically was like, oh, word. And I literally ripped each one of them apart in such a creative fashion. And I don't remember everything that I said, but I remember with one of the kids, I called him, I was like, and this dude looks like Lamar from Revenge of the Nerds. And all of a sudden, his boys like
Started
literally
laughing.
went crazy. They were like, "Hey, yo, they're like, you cool as shit, man. Yo, you go ahead, Lyric, like represent, cool." So, like, saved
That's
my life
fire.
because they looked
That's
like
fire.
they were definitely gonna fucking run my fucking pockets, and I'm 5 foot, I'm 5'5", 5'6". I mean, I can hit a lick, but it's like three
Yeah,
on
you
one.
like, all right, I'm gonna take one of y'all down, but I know y'all gonna get me, but I'm gonna take one of y'all down, but fuck it. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
for mine.
exactly. But
It's crazy. I was telling somebody yesterday, weed and music is like also great conversation starters, but also they can get you out of a lot of jams. You know what I mean? You don't know who's who, and then sometimes you're just smoking a blunt and politicking with somebody or some shit, and next thing you know, that shit saves you from a whole situation. They be like, "Oh, word, like that nigga kills niggas, he robs niggas." Like, we was chilling, we was smoking a blunt, he ain't robbed. Like, you know what I'm saying? You find out shit.
yeah, he was highly medicated at the time.
Uh-huh.
But I mean,
It
listen.
is what it is.
But basically, I bring that up because when it comes to freestyle and having something that's structured, it's like, and especially being able to know who your opponent is, you know, and then you could do your research and attack where it fucking hurts. And I bring that up because you have one of the probably arguably the best third rounds of all time, not because of your like super lyrical miracle wordplay or anything like that, but you aimed for the jugular.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally, and for people that don't know what I'm talking about the battle with him and Hollowhand, where
Mm-hmm.
he basically referenced the damage that his opponent did to his own best friend by selling him them packages and basically, causing
Mm-hmm.
his demise. And that's why when you hear people say, you know, glad, thank y'all for reaching out, but just wait
That's
for the
what they
third
do.
round. This
There's
is
some shit
something
we
we
gotta
got to
speak.
speak about. And
Mm-hmm.
he did. Probably I can't reference another moment other than one of the fights, one of the punches, like where somebody like punches somebody like, but you can't reference battle rap without bringing that up. That is legendary.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
so
you.
real too because you hit where it hurts, and you could tell, like, dude, like he fought that tear. he fought that tear because he knew what the fuck he did, and you brought that to life, which was kind of fucked up. But man, you fucked him up. Like that was like a fucking iron fist uppercut, and that hurt. And even though dude was like saying, not like he was rapping, like I mean, you can't take anything away from him with rhyming words, and being able to match syllables, but it lacked content, context, and
well, I feel like he walked right into it too, playing the whole genius on drugs. I feel like he walked right into it. It just made all that more sense. Where he's like, I've been on smack my whole life. That's the last bar he said. I should be running URL because I've been on smack my whole life. Like it's like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying?
And the funny thing is, you weren't even laughing at him. Laughing with him. You were laughing at him because you were like, you have no idea what I am about to fucking do to you. I mean, it's
you know what I mean?
Annihilation. I mean, it's great, very entertaining. I encourage everybody to watch the battle with him and Hollow Hands. If you respect hip hop, that's what you should do. So anyway, talk to me about the new album, Resolutions, because we've spoken on battle rap the whole time, but this is like a new project that you're heavily pushing, and I respect the shit out of it, and I want you to guide me and the view. I was about to say users, like I'm selling drugs. This is a drug to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I know that
it definitely is
some verified potion because. You can't even tell me you ain't having a fucking blast on this podcast, even though we ain't in person.
Right now, we high, we chilling, we macking, we good.
You know what? I think it's time to break out you ever smoke one of these? They're called Keef Gods.
Oh, the Keef Gods. I had one in Denver. Now, maybe not that brand, but I know what I mean. It's the whole Keef thing is
like
it's dipped in. It's got the wax. It's got everything, right?
Yeah, this
is completely curated like that as the pre-roll.
Yeah, this is angel cake coated with wax, and in your honor, I will definitely smoke to hear some more of these.
I'm rolling some runs right now. I'm keeping up.
And I'm lighting with my JopauL lighter, and I know that you respect that because you speak very, very highly about how important it is to brand yourself as an artist. So he's also giving people jewels. So you gotta read between the lines sometimes. So resolutions.
Yeah, resolutions.
Talk to me about
resolutions. Resolutions is a culmination of all the drama this year, from losing Meg, from just everything just stopping. Goals not being met, me feeling like I underachieved, especially in the plans that I had for the year, and then how the year ended. I felt like I underachieved. And I had to get to a point where I had to start being comfortable, get back in my bag. So what I did was I started recording, and I told myself I'm gonna speak on everything that I went through. I just started just venting, being vulnerable. And I do feel like as an artist, when you're vulnerable, that is the best way to connect with an audience, And I felt like there were people that were going through the same shit that I was going through. People lost loved ones. People were broke. People were feeling like they're not getting shit done that they need to get done, etc. So with that being said, I said, fuck it. I'm going to go all in. And it worked out, I felt like people just responded to it the way they needed to. And that is the best thing. It's easily my best project.
That's what's up. So, I mean, and I bring that up because I want to know what song sticks out like the most. Like, what was like the birth of it all, where you were like, you know what, this is the joint, that's going to lead the album, but
the intro resolutions produced by Paulie Cicero. When I recorded it, it was the first joint I did, and it had an intro feel to it. But just how I'm touching on everything, every situation that I'm speaking on, how it came across, and it just made it. And in the beginning of the song, I say my resolution, because that was like more like just the concept for the song. And then as I kept listening to it, I'm smoking in the car and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, that's it. resolutions. You know what I mean? And that shit just went. You know what I mean? It set a tone. I had a complete direction, and I knew the beginning of the year was coming. I started in September. I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect. You know what I mean? And that's what happened.
Okay, that's what's up. And where can people find this marvelous?
It's streaming everywhere. You know, it's streaming everywhere from Spotify, Tidal, Apple. And then I also did a whole pre-order thing where people can order personally from me, and they might get like a gift box. You know what I mean? I have the whole resolution gift boxes, so I ship those out for $100, and like you'll get a whole customized bundle package, merch, autographs, music, everything.
Get a nice picture with a nice little note signed by Cortez Bodega.
Exactly.
So, you know, so you're getting some customized shit. And I always encourage direct to consumer, because in today's day and age,
and the album that you get in that has 6 bonus tracks and a full album commentary documentary. So it's like you get little things that no one else is gonna get, or stuff that's not even public yet.
That's what's up. That's what's up. See, that's marketing at its finest. You have to, I say this on every podcast, artists, every single artist is running a New York City marathon with cinder block sneakers in a 4-foot pile of sludge. How are you going to chisel off those fucking cinder block sneakers and then
get going
and stand on the motherfucking shoulders so that you can stand out in that crowd? You have to be original. So you offer a box, you get onto your merch game, and you make people fuck with you. Yeah, you can't force one. You can't force talent. You know, I mean, you kind of, if you have like the big like record label, you know, that's kind of pushing you, you know, but you know, for the most part, you can't force talent, and you can't force your own buzz. So people genuinely have to fuck with you. So when a dude can offer,
or if it is manufactured, once you're not hot no more, they're not gonna fuck with you because it was manufactured. It's a completely different ballgame when it's somebody that you genuinely fuck with. Even if they fell off, you're like, yo, I'm a fan of that person. I don't care if they didn't drop an album in 5 years. They dropping some new shit, I'm gonna tap in.
That's called a core fan base. That means they're gonna fuck with you.
No pun intended. Exactly.
You know, they're gonna fuck with you thick and thin. You know, nor feast nor famine. They're gonna still be around no matter what. So I can respect that. So make sure you stream every single song of the Resolutions album on your favorite, you know, social media platforms and stuff like that. And make sure you follow Cortez on Instagram. Make sure you look for the blue check. And before
we verified exactly,
we verified. So before I let you leave, even though I'm having a blast, and we definitely got to do a round 2, because I know you got a couple other interviews, and I'm sure we got thousands of things to talk about.
Yeah, we're gonna catch up.
Who do I have to kill to hear this Cortez DV alias Christ Inspector Deck song?
You want me to tell you something?
Who do I have to fucking kill?
I don't have that song.
All right, thank you.
I will tell you this though.
Podcast, it's over. Fuck it.
I will tell you this though. Me and D spoke about it the other day. I said, yo, you got a copy of that? He's like, nah. I was like, I don't got a copy. So my man Pep had hit up Spec, because he'd be chilling with him. And Spec was like, yo, I'm mixing this down this week. But he was like, that's his project. Like, he's like, yo, that's not even like something for me. That's for his project. But the song is crazy though. I know from that day when we was leaving, I was like, oh, nah, this is hard.
So that's why DV was fucking laughing when I texted him, and I was like, you got a song Cortez? He's like, yeah, with, you know, him and Inspector. I was like, send it now. And he starts laughing. I was like, what the fuck is so funny? You know, now I see. So he doesn't have it, you don't have it. So we're gonna have to holler at Inspector.
Yeah, we gotta holler at Spec.
But I heard that shit is fire though. I mean, well, DV, besides being like one of my closest friends, you know, in the entire world, you know, like it's going on.
We got something new we cooking up too, me and him. We probably supposed to be in the studio in the next week or 2. So like, if you want, pull up.
Unfortunately, I'm keeping my ass fucking stationary while this pandemic is still going on, especially with the new variants that are going. I mean, so let me just speak on it real quick, so this way I don't sound like an idiot. I take it super seriously. I have a ton of research that I do independently of what I hear on different media outlets and stuff of that nature. But I do I do abide by science, and I realize that with all of this information that's out there, I'm a businessman slash rap lyrical genius podcaster, and I'm not a scientist or a doctor. So I'm gonna exercise on the side of caution rather than living frivolously. Only because I take care of my father a couple days a week. He just had open heart surgery, so he's still a tiny bit immune compromised until he gets.
Family comes first.
Yeah. So I'm keeping it cool. I'm podding. You know what I'm saying? I got fucking plenty of weed and plenty of jack to fucking keep me occupied. You know, and I write bars for days. So it's like
All day.
so I entertain my fans in between. Like, I don't feel like releasing music right now because it doesn't feel right. If I can't be out there really promoting it like in a safe way, and you know, what do you think about the people that are throwing like those underground parties and not giving a flying fuck?
Yo,
Speak
they
on it.
kind of crazy. They kind of crazy, right? But I can't say this. I shot a video last week and it ended up being like a party. And I was like, damn. Like it just went so because you know what it is? Everybody's dying to be outside. So if there is something to do,
Think about
people
that.
are coming.
Think about that irony of what you just said.
They're dying to be outside. Dying to be outside.
Bars.
Word, that's a ball.
And they might die to be out. I mean, it's so I said this on another podcast too, and I'm not gonna bore you with this shit. I'm sure you've already gotten the heat from your extremist friends that are like, how are you out there without a mask and doing this? I've challenged all my artist friends, rather than having a whole conglomerate of people in your video, try to come up with some sort of concept that alleviates that based on your creativity, whether you have to jump into 3 or 4 different characters and play with the camera angles and play different roles and actually act out those different parts. You're also keeping it safe. So just the only thing that you know, I mean, it's like I try to preach all I can, but it's like, even after all the shit I say, I see like, Shampoo and
Let me ask you this.
fucking out there, in big fucking parties and shit for DJ Fast Life's, birthday, and they're not wearing masks. I'm like, oh, I was like, you guys are killing me. Literally.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, right? So when they say, let's say they say a year from now, hey, everything's lifted, we've overcome it, right? Everybody could go back out with masks on. Are you still going to trust it, or you still going to wait?
Whatever all right. So depending on one, I hope by that point that I will be vaccinated. So I'll have some sort of level of mental protection, like from, that like, oh my God, like, I mean, is this shit still living in the air a little bit longer, and am I going to into it at the fucking, if I keep my window open at the McDonald's drive-thru from the person who was fucking in front of me and he's breathing out, like, is it going to fly back? Yeah. It'll alleviate that. But when I see that, like, I mean, the great thing, and I'm not getting political at all, because I'm not trying to do that at all. We politicking, but I ain't getting political. Buzz. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna throw those little
What's up in the zone?
Yeah, because now I'm lit. I got fucking, me and Jack Daniels are best fucking friends. Like you ever hear that song? Let me tell you about my best friend. All through the pandemic, this is my guy right here. Jack Daniels. So but I take it, just super serious, and I just want people to be safe because I want to get back to work. I want us to be able to get that show money, appearance money, walkthrough money, performance money, middleman, wheeling and dealing, schmoozing.
Exactly.
Those underground parties are helping this shit grow. I see it on my timeline. I was like, I'm gonna lose my mind. It's crazy. So anyway, Cortez, before I let you go, my bad. What's one thing that you want people to know about you, to they've maybe passed over, and by just knowing you as a battle rapper or anything like that? So what's one thing maybe people really don't know about you that they really should, because it's critical to who you are?
I think they should really understand that I move by a certain principle and certain guidelines. And I try to portray that and give that game back through the music. or through anything I do. You know, if you talk about the Holland battle or you talk about something recently, there's always going to be the fact that Cole's going to give you game, and I'm not going to bullshit you. You know what I mean? I've been in this game 10 plus years. You never hear anybody say he's a slime. You never heard anybody say he's a snake or he owes this person money. I work as a brand and I work to set the bar for me and my people. You know what I mean? And the consistency with that is what keeps me afloat. You know what I mean? Like, you want to know something about Cortez? Genuine.
Love it. Love it. You know, the only other thing, you know, because I reached out to a whole bunch of people. Like I said, I've been in the game for a long time, so I reached out to a bunch of people, want to know, you know, direct interactions, stories, you know, and stuff like that. And I was like I thought like you were in the hospital because literally everyone like responded. They're like, he's ill, he's ill, he's ill, he's ill.
That's dope.
I think he's sick. I was like, he's in the hospital. No, I'll tell you a funny story. I reached out to Babs. Shout out to Babs, Queen of the Ring again, and I asked her if she wanted to maybe do like a pop in on the episode, and she fucked with me bad. She sent me a voice message. She was like, Cortez, nah, I don't fuck with him. I can't fucking do that. She's like, nah, I'm kidding. Cortez the homie. You know? But she's like, but she said, let's do she wasn't ready for it. You know, it was in too short a notice. So she was like, she's like, I'll do another episode, but she, you know, sends her love. But she fucked with me. I'm gonna get her back. Good for that. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, I didn't know if they had fucking beef. I was like, I'm not too deep in the rap drama. I was like, I don't know. I was like, but yeah, shout out to everyone that's in the battle rap community that you know, that responded and gave me some good insight and things of what to do. Shout out to my boy, you know, Lex Luthor from the iBattle promo, Staten Island, holding it down out here. Love what he's doing. You know, it's it's very entrepreneurial, and he's a fucking swordsmith.
It's organic. I fuck with, I pull up on Lex all the time. So like I say, you know what I'm saying? Like that, he understands battle rap and he understands how to push it forward. That's why iBattle is on the rise.
Yeah, and he got mad love for you because I asked him to do like a pop in also, and he was like, "This." He's like, "Nah," he's like, "I feel like it would take away from Cortez." I was like, "I respect that."
You know, it's crazy. Lex was in one of the sessions because I recorded the whole album at the Meth Lab.
Oh, that's what's up.
So Meth just opened a new studio on Staten Island. That's why I recorded the whole album. So Lex was there for one of the sessions and all that. He heard the whole album, like one of the last sessions, and he hit me. He was like, "Yo, this shit is crazy." He was like, "Yo, Cole, I ain't gonna lie, like
I like
this
Lex.
Is crazy."
He a monster. Like his steel is fucking like katana blade, samurai
exactly.
sword.
Exactly. Like, balls, and he's blunt. So I fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna waste your time.
Yeah, he got more bars than Rikers and Sing Sing. I respect it. I definitely respect it. So, in case anyone missed the quote that I, you know, said, you know, earlier, you know, in the podcast, this is how I like to end my podcast. Even though I'm having a fucking blast right now, but I'm definitely gonna have to fucking take a pee-pee break, you know, from all this Jack that I'm drinking. But we are all here for a small cup of coffee. I'm just trying to drink it while it's still hot. I'm your host. I am JopauL. We have been the Verified Podcast. Make sure you check us out at theverifiedpodcast.com. We were just chopping up with Cortez Bodega, legendary in these streets. Make sure you check them out. Resolutions album on fire. I'm going to go fucking stream every single fucking song. I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to leave it on replay so he gets all the repeat streams. I'm going to be my own stream farm for this motherfucker. Exactly. So I appreciate your time. One love. God bless. Take care. We out.